Hey guys, let's get more news from Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your like. 3 Steelers make Peter King's all-time team. 3 former members of the Pittsburgh Steelers made Peter King all-time 53-man roster, which only includes players who were able to play at least half of their career since King started covering the NFL in 1984. So you won't see Joe Green or Lynn Swann or Jack Lambert on the list, but Hines Ward and Troy Polamalu made the team while James Harrison was on the bench. Ward made it along with fellow wide receivers Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, and Tyreek Hill. Of note, King said the players I picked are the ones I liked the most over the last 4 decades to impact games, to be winning players, to be the kind of players who don't rest till they succeed. So that means the list is not necessarily purely based on talent or numbers, which can explain Hill's inclusion here. Ward's here because he's the best blocking wide receiver I've seen, and he caught 1,000 passes. Loved his unselfishness, King wrote. Teams with diva wide receivers who don't block might have hated Ward, I can tell you, they did, but he knew his job, and his job was to be the most physical blocking receiver on the team, and to catch passes. In that order. Widely regarded as one of the best blocking receivers of all time, if not the best, Ward, who's still struggling to make the Hall of Fame, was pretty dang good catching the ball too. Playing in more of a run-heavy era for a Steelers team that ran the ball a lot, he still managed to have 6 seasons over 1,000 yards. A 3-time All-Pro and 4-time Pro Bowler, Ward was critical to 2 Steelers Super Bowl winning teams and was the Super Bowl 40 MVP. A tough, physical player who was a weapon in all facets of the game, it's nice to see King give Ward some love here. Polamalu, obviously, is the more physical one. He lived to jump over the center at the precise right moment to ruin the play for the offense, and his timing was impeccable, King wrote. Not only was Polamalu physical and able to get downhill and make plays at or behind the line of scrimmage, but he was also a ball hawk with 32 career interceptions. A member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Polamalu was the 2010 AP Defensive Player of the Year with 7 interceptions, 11 passes defensed, and 63 total tackles. He was truly a one-of-a-kind player, and it's fitting he makes the list alongside one of his AFC North rivals in Ed Reed in addition to Tyrann Mathieu. Harrison made the roster but would come off the hypothetical bench. The bench had the most bizarre pick of the list in former New England Patriots wide receiver Chris Hogan, who had 220 receptions for 2,836 yards and 19 touchdowns in 9 NFL seasons, but Steelers fans still have nightmares over his performance in the 2016 AFC Championship game. Did you know he played lacrosse, not football, at Penn State? Anyway, Harrison was the lone Steelers defensive player on the bench, and King called him the Jack Lambert of the modern Steelers. Arthur Smith focused on 4-point swings by improving Steelers' woeful red zone numbers. There is one single, solitary overriding objective in the game of football, which is to score more points than your opponent. New Pittsburgh Steelers offensive coordinator Arthur Smith understands that is his highest priority, starting with improving success in the red zone. The Steelers' offense was garbage in the red zone during the 2023 season. Their 47.6% touchdown rate within 20 yards of the goal line ranked 27th in the NFL. The Atlanta Falcons, Smith's former team, were one of the 5 teams that were worse last season. But at least the difference was marginal at 46.8%. The New York Jets were just stunningly tragic at 32.4%. Nearly 12 full percentage points worse than the next. In other words, stop settling for field goals. But the Steelers' offense was so bad last season that it didn't just struggle to score in the red zone. It struggled to the red zone. They only had 42 trips inside the 20 all season, 4th worst in the NFL. 9 teams had at least 60 trips in the red zone. There also seems to be a correlation between the frequency of access and the rate of success. The Steelers had an average number of field goal attempts in 2023 with 31, neither high nor low. They did not turn the ball over in the red zone a great deal. Chris Boswell's 9 field goal attempts inside the red zone out of 31 total represents the second highest percentage of his career. So not only do the Steelers need new offensive coordinator Arthur Smith to increase their effectiveness in the red zone, they also need him to get them there more frequently. They did have an uptick in explosive touchdowns with 9 of them last season, but it's premature to call that sustainable. Especially given that it still wasn't nearly enough. Their 17.9 points scored per game was their lowest output in a quarter century. And Smith's Falcons' offenses didn't exactly blow the doors off the league. They had an effective run game more often than not, but never the sustained passing game success needed to thrive. And nobody expects him to have that on his first day on the job in Pittsburgh. Indeed, the quarterback conundrum is their main concern right now. Kenny Pickett, the Steeler 2022 first-round pick, is not off to a good start for his career, statistically. He does have a favorable winning record and surprising late-game success with 7 career game-winning drives. The last time the Steelers finished in the top half of the league in red zone touchdown percentage was in 2020, while Smith ran the Tennessee Titans offense. They scored a touchdown on 63.5% of their trips inside the 20 that season. The Titans? Oh, they finished second that year at 75%, 48 touchdowns on 64 trips. And first the year before that at 75.6%, though on significantly fewer opportunities, 34 out of 45. Le'Veon Bell wants to make NFL comeback, but only with the Steelers. Former Pittsburgh Steelers running back Le'Veon Bell says he wants to make a comeback to the NFL, but with a catch, he only wants to do it in Pittsburgh. I won't start training until like March, Bell said on Snapchat. And I'm gonna be honest with myself. I gotta go out there and be like I'm gonna put my foot in the ground. Do I feel it? Am I hurting? Can I go out there and really play again? And bro, I'm telling y'all right now, when I go out there and train in March and if I hit April and I make the decision to come back to play in the NFL again, mark my words down, I will be better than I ever was. Ever. And I will only come back for that one team. I don't gotta say no team, y'all know who it is. Bell was a 2-time All-Pro with the Steelers from 2013 to 18. He rushed for over 1,200 yards on 3 occasions and rushed for 35 touchdowns in a Steelers uniform and caught 7 more. Bell's last appearance came in 2021, where he appeared in a combined 8 games for the Baltimore Ravens and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Running back Le'Veon Bell last played in the NFL in 2021. He wants to return in 2024. Bell said in a recent Snapchat video that he wants to return to the NFL. And he hopes to play for only one team. I won't start training until like March, Bell said, via SI.com. And I'm gonna be honest with myself, I got to go out there and be like, I'm going to put my foot in the ground. Do I feel it? Am I hurting? Can I go out there and really play again? And bro, I'm telling you all right now, when I go out there and train in March and if I hit April and I make this decision to come back to play in the NFL again, mark my words down, I will be better than I ever was. And I will only come back for that one team. You all know who it is. I don't have to say no team. You all know who it is. The Jets? Actually, he's almost certainly referring to the Steelers. That's the team that drafted him in the 2nd round out of Michigan State in 2013. Bell had more than 2,200 yards from scrimmage in his 2nd season. He was named an All-Pro that year. He was an All-Pro for the 2nd time in 2017, while playing under the franchise tag. The next year, he sat out the entire season, forcing his way to unrestricted free agency in 2019. He then signed a 4-year, $52.5 million contract with the Jets. After a disappointing first season in New York, the Jets cut Bell during the 2020 season. He finished the year with the Chiefs, and he split 2021 with the Ravens and Buccaneers. He did not play in the NFL in 2022 or 2023. And you fan, what do you think of the Le'Veon Bell situation? Leave your opinion in the comments.